Hey you guys, welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. So this is my rant, okay, about growing apple trees from seed. All right. As a newbie hobby gardener, I would have to say that in order for a person to truly learn, they must try, okay? They must learn how to sprout seeds and experiment. Okay, you're gonna have a lot of trial and error when you are just learning how to grow, how to fertilize, how to do anything and anything that pertains to gardening in itself. The only way you're gonna learn is by doing it, getting your hands in the dirt, getting dirty, and learning. Okay, you're gonna learn from videos, you're gonna learn from books, you're gonna learn from experienced people in the real world. Like those other things aren't the real world, but you know what I mean. But the only way, what I'm trying to say here is the only way that you're going to learn is by doing. Okay? And you can't always just assume something because somebody says something. You know what they say about people who assume something, and I'm not going to go there. You can figure that out for yourself. But there's a saying that when somebody assumes something, they make something out of themselves, okay? And but that's where I'm gonna leave it. And anyways, I'll just kind of jump into it, I guess, here. These little apple trees you see right here. This one here is probably not a very good one. I'm not sure. It's really small. It hasn't really come out of the top here. Might have died off during the process of winter. That's the only thing I could really think of. That's the only reason why nothing's really happening there, is that part died. And that just means that part died. It doesn't mean that it's a bad tree, okay? Because everything else is growing on it. But, oh gosh, you guys, how do I start this? I don't want this channel to be one of those channels that, gets into people attacking them and that sort of thing, and then it be videos like that. But I just kind of feel like I need to vent just a little bit, and I was a little bit frustrated by this a little bit yesterday. Not at first though. No, it wasn't until the evening after I had time to digest it and then look into the person and see what the person was all about, and when the day had ended. And in the morning, I actually was trying to sell these for just literally, you guys, it was under $10 for the trees. And I was selling them in groups of 3s on Facebook Marketplace. And to people locally, basically to hobby gardeners like myself, okay? People who are just learning, people who don't want to spend tons and tons of money, but they just want to experiment, okay? These are the kind of people that I was trying to sell to, not like people who are master gardeners, of course. You know, master gardener or somebody who's experienced with gardening, they're not going to go and put money into something like this. You know, guys, you know that, generally speaking. How did we get the Koru apple to begin with? It came from a seed, you people. It came from a seed, master gardeners. It came from a seed. Most of the varieties, they all came from a seed. Yes, at one point, they took from that tree and they grafted it onto a disease-resistant rootstock. Of course they did. Anybody with a brain cell will know that that's something you should do to ensure the life of the tree to succeed and to be able to clone it and to keep it going. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, after you've even been a hobby gardener for a short amount of time, to realize these kinds of things. Especially once it starts producing fruit and you figure out that it's a good variety, if it's a new one or whatever, okay? Well, anyways, this person contacted me, and I am actually getting a bit hot in here because it's getting almost 70 degrees. I need to open up this other part here really quick. My dog's eating grass, you guys. Hi, Walter. Is that yummy grass? He always eats grass. He doesn't puke in my house, I'm just saying. He just really likes grass. I'm gonna put my foot down there. I gotta open this up because I'm gonna have to roll this up. Okay, it was getting a wee bit hot. Okay, now I'm gonna just come back in here. There we go. All right, so I'll continue. So yesterday morning, I woke up to get my kids ready for school, and I had a message on Facebook from the marketplace from an individual, a woman, and she began the conversation with, "Hi, comma, I'm a master gardener, comma. And when you start a conversation like that, that is a I know it all person, okay? And the information she gave me, you guys, was very good information. And she said to me, as a master gardener, I must inform you of these facts about growing apple trees from seed. And she proceeded to explain to me, one, that the apple seeds, the apple trees that I'm growing will not taste like the apples that I ate. I've done my research, therefore I knew this already. Yes, I did know this. Two, the apple trees that I am selling will be ginormous. Okay. I wasn't fully aware that they'll be ginormous, but I knew that, you know, they're not grafted onto something. So yeah, I figured they would grow to be a decent size. All right. Okay. That's a little bit new information. And it was good information. Nothing bad there. Nothing wrong. And then she proceeded and she said, 3, they have not been grafted onto a rootstock, a dwarfing rootstock. That has to do with them becoming ginormous. And then that might have been part of 2. And then 3, I think she might have had 4 points, but I can't really remember the 4th point because I blocked her on Facebook, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Later on, her initial comments to me were not necessarily bad, but it was very know-it-all by the way she worded herself. And then she said to me that the rootstock, because it hasn't been grafted onto a rootstock, therefore there's no telling whether or not it has a disease-resistant rooting system, and that it pretty much could be rubbish. Basically, there's no telling yet. So she just assumes automatically that my trees are crap, and that what I am offering is crap, and you know, that's fine. That's her opinion, okay? And she said that she's a master gardener, including, you know, so I'm like, okay. So I responded back to her and I said, I'm full aware of all of this information, you know, because the only part that I wasn't sure about was the whole that they can grow to be ginormous, okay? I knew about all the other stuff. And I told her, thank you for, you know, her information. And I'm trying to remember what else I had said to her. And yeah, so I left it pretty much, you know, just, you know, it wasn't, I didn't respond in a negative way at all. Her information was very, very wise. And so, yeah, so I went about my day because I had a lot of errands yesterday and I had things I had to take care of. Some cheese I had bought was moldy and I didn't realize it when I bought it, so I had to go get that done. Got a chip in the window yesterday when I was driving home, so I had to go get that fixed. And so I had things I had to do. I had things on my mind. I had, you know, I've got family to take care of here. And so I went and I went and got those things taken care of. And then when I got home, I had the afternoon. The kids are getting home from school and that sort of thing by the time I got home after everything was done. And I had to deal with children and life and that sort of thing at home. And then I was like, okay, this is good. This is great. Okay. And after I got home and everything had wound down just before dinner, I said, I'm going to check out this woman and see what kind of person she is at heart. And I looked up and I went to her profile page on Facebook, her private profile. I looked at her, you know, profile pictures just to kind of get a feel as to what kind of person she was. And then I didn't realize, and I thought I had gone back to my own, like wall or whatever you want to call it on Facebook. And anyways, I hadn't, because I must have gotten distracted by one of the kids or something. And I noticed that I was scrolling down through the feed and I realized that it was her feed. And she had made it public and not private to her friends. And she had basically said, I found this woman selling apple seeds from seed on the marketplace, and I can't believe somebody is doing that. And she was basically slandering me. And she put the list that she had given to me as to her knowledge of apples and growing food and whatever, gardening and all of that. Okay. And then she said, do not buy from this person. And she said that my plants were garbage. And I was like, that is ridiculous. You know, for me, one, I think back to God, and in Genesis, where he says that plants would bear seed after their own kind, and they would, you know, fruit. And so for me, I think, as it is with all plants, there's going to be some trees that have good rooting system, and there's going to be some trees that don't. If they don't have a good rooting system, you should cut it completely out. Okay? That's the fun thing about gardening and about growing and learning, is if it's not a good tree, just get rid of it entirely. Don't even make scion wood with it. Don't even graft with it. You guys, just cut it completely out. If it's a bad stock, it's a bad plant overall. Okay? And so you can use a lot of these things as in instances to people even too. There's good rooted people and there's bad rooted people. And for her to go and tell people not to buy from me, that means she's a bad seed and she's got a bad root stock. Okay? And that's not very nice. As a master gardener, she should be more, she should have kept that information to herself. She shouldn't have been sharing it publicly with the world. And she should have maybe addressed, you know, she addressed me, but then she addressed the entire world with her Facebook post about me. And I wasn't doing anything wrong. I wasn't hurting anybody. I wasn't doing anything. If these are bad trees, then let God decide whether or not they're good or not. You know what I'm saying? And so don't go telling people not to buy from somebody just because it's from seed. Heck, you guys, the Karoo apple tree was grown from seed. And we find those in our stores. Almost every single new variety of tree or apple that you eat has been grown from a seed. Okay? Every single one of those. Now, the key here is that at some point, once they realize it's a good variety, then they start grafting from the tree. That tree has its own roots. It's not been grafted onto a rootstock until after, you know, most likely. I'm going to assume here, I guess. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. I'm using the assume word. Anyways, yeah. So basically, but most of the trees have been grown from seed is my main point here. And then once it has produced fruit, or even if it hasn't produced fruit and they've grafted it on, why would you graft something on not knowing if whether or not it was going to take? I'd rather taste the fruit to see if it's good or not than graft. And I think any good gardener would do that. Okay? So the only way to tell if these are going to be good is to let them grow up and see how they taste. And see if it's good. And if it's not good, get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? No big deal. So anyways, I was upset yesterday about what she said. And so what I did was I went ahead and I had been growing these for a year. So I was selling them for under $10. And I had them in a group of 3 each. And I think I had them for $8 or something like that. I had them at $10 at one point, but I think I had them at $8 or something for 3 trees. Okay, you guys? But after she did that, I was so upset last night after I saw that she had told people not to buy from me that I said, forget it. I don't even care. I repotted them into some disposable pots that are a little bit more disposable, a little bit smaller. And I can let the people plant them out how they want. And I offered them for free last night for people. Because frankly, I really don't care about the money. These were extra ones that I had grown. And so I was like, okay, here, somebody else can enjoy them. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm just learning. So I'm just pruning and learning to prune and doing all that. And I've done my reading on that. So I basically know how to prune a tree now, which is pretty awesome. And I'm on my way to becoming a master gardener, but I am going to tell you one thing as myself. Once I get to that master gardener status, you guys, I will not treat people the way she treated me. That is not okay. That is rude. You need to come at people with love and with respect, and then not go and tell people, be all tooting your own horn and stuff, because she had people praising her on her Facebook page about how knowledgeable and wise and wisdom that she had and all of this and all that. And to me, that is not a righteous person. That is not a person who is she is seeking self, and she is not seeking any sort of edification other than herself edification. And so that is, to me, is a bad rootstock. Okay. Anyways, so what I did here was, you see these little apple seedlings? I pulled all those ones out. I am not going to sell any more apple trees or even try to give any more away after this. I'm done. But at least until I've learned how to do rootstocking. And then at that point, then you guys, then I'll sell apple trees, but only on rootstock. So I will be learning. I will become a master gardener, and I will be awesome, you guys. So anyways, here my sister requested me to plant some pink ladies. So I've got about 4 apple seeds in this corner right here for my sister. I'll probably keep one of them and give her the other ones, and she can do what she wants with them. She can get another apple tree to cross-pollinate with it, what have you. And then here I kept myself an autumn glory. And then right here, this is really interesting, if you want to see, if I can zoom in right here. This one came up with 3 of, I can't remember what it's called. It starts with a C, but it's these first leaves that come on, and there's 3 of them. So cool. So I kept that one. I think that means that this apple tree actually has 3 parents, but I'm not sure. I'm just learning, you guys. And then this one here, for whatever reason, it turned a burgundy color, and then it has the dark green underneath. And so I'm not sure if it's going to bloom out and then just have green leaves later. But as you can see, the next set of leaves are also kind of a burgundy color. So I'm not sure. And these also came from an opal seed. Both of these came from opal apple. And so it'll be interesting to see. And of course, I've got my little avocado pit right there. So I'll be getting, here it is. It was blurry. Sorry, guys. So yeah, those ones I'm keeping for myself, and I will be watching them grow, and if I need to do what I got to do. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Sorry that it was so long, but I think it's very important that we as hobby gardeners and master gardeners and all gardeners in between, newbies to, you know, the masters of the masters, that we are kind to one another, and that we come with love and instruction to other people, and that we don't slander and say something's not good based on assumptions, because that's just not right, you guys. That's not a way to encourage somebody to be growing and that sort of thing. And so with that being said, I'm definitely going to be focusing more on my gooseberries. I will be focusing on elderberries and berries basically in general. I might sell like a few other little like blackberries, raspberries, that sort of thing, but those will be clones from my plants that I buy that are from a reputable, I can't say that word, from a dealer who sells what they are. And then I will take my own cuts and I will make clones from that, so I'm selling the exact variety. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you've ever dealt with somebody calling you out for no real apparent reason and being mean, or how you dealt with the situation, because I just blocked her. I didn't even message her to say that she was rude or anything like that. I said she's not worth that time. Other than me just talking about it here, this will be the last you hear of it from me. Anyways, sorry about the coughing. I've got allergies. There's a tree somewhere in the vicinity, and it keeps making me choke up a little bit. But as always, you guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.